The woman banging on my front door at 6 in the morning wasn't selling cookies. No, she was standing there with her phone already hovering over 911, yelling at the top of her lungs that my wife was some sort of criminal trespasser, all because Elena dared to park her Honda Civic in our own driveway overnight. And there I am in nothing but a bathrobe, coffee steaming in my hand, blinking through the cold, trying to process how my life turned into a circus before sunrise. You want to talk about starting your day with a jolt? Try watching your HOA president lose her mind because your wife, a pediatric ICU nurse who just pulled a 12-hour shift, moved into the house she legally owns. Brenda, yeah, let's call her Brenda, has ruled this neighborhood with a clipboard for years. Her mission in life apparently to hunt down grass blades that dare to grow half an inch too high and to write tickets for every moving car. I mean, this is the woman who files complaints if your hydrangeas are the wrong shade of blue. So seeing her vibrating with fury on my doorstep, demanding the police arrest my wife for get this existing where she belongs, well, I knew right then and there I was dealing with the kind of neighborhood tyrant you hear about in the horror stories. You know what I mean. But here's the thing. Bullies always pick the wrong target eventually. 20 minutes after Brenda called the cops that morning, I was already picturing her holding a very different kind of paper, the kind with eviction printed on the front. Yeah, it was that bad. But let me back up for a second, because if you've ever wondered what you'd do if your HOA president tried to evict your wife from your own house, buckle up. My name's Marcus. I'm 45, work, maintenance at a factory, pay my bills before they're due, mow my lawn like it's a golf course, and until recently, I minded my own business. 3 years ago, I bought a little slice of Willowbrook Commons for just under $300,000. Decent street, nothing fancy, just the kind of place where you'd hope to make some memories. And for a while, it was fine. Then I married Elena, the kind of woman who saves lives for a living and still finds time to make the best damn lasagna you've ever tasted. Last Saturday was her official move-in day. We're hauling boxes in from her Civic when here comes Brenda in a pantsuit and pearls marching across the street like she's SWAT, and we're holding hostages. Pen in hand, she's immediately listing off violations overnight, parking commercial equipment in plain view, which was actually Elena's nursing bag with a stethoscope, something about multiple vehicles per household, needing board approval, and of course a $150 fine. And the way she slaps that ticket on Elena's windshield like she just won a war. You ever seen someone's face crumple in real time? Elena stood there holding a box of nursing textbooks, still wearing her hospital badge, looking like she'd been slapped. Brenda wasn't just enforcing rules. She was making it clear my wife wasn't welcome. And for what? Bringing home the tools that keep kids alive. The next thing I know, Brenda's shouting that she's reporting us for running a boarding house and filing a formal complaint about medical equipment. Medical equipment, like Elena's running a mobile meth lab instead of, treating sick kids. That night, Elena sits at our kitchen table, still in her scrubs, voice small as she says, maybe we should just pay the fine. I don't want to cause problems. And let me tell you, nothing lights a fire under you like watching the person you love, the person who fights death every day, shrink back because of some retiree on a power trip. I told her we're not paying a cent and nobody's running us out of our own home. 3 days later, county code enforcement's knocking at our door. Complain about an unlicensed medical facility. I let the guy in, show him around. He apologizes for wasting our time and leaves. But Brenda's just getting warmed up. Elena's hospital gets an anonymous call questioning her professional conduct. Then the notes start. Keep our neighborhood family friendly. Some people don't belong here. I recognize the paper from Brenda's official HOA letters. And when Elena finds her car keyed, something inside me just snaps. I spent that night reading every word of the HOA bylaws highlighter in hand. My dad always said if someone's playing games with the rules, learn the rules better than they do. Turns out Brenda's fence is 2 inches over height. Her backyard deck has no permit, and her own violations would make a city inspector's head spin. More importantly, HOA enforcement has to be consistent. You can't bust people for parking when your own fence is illegal. I filed formal complaints, photos and all, and requested an emergency board meeting. When Monday rolled around, Brenda strutted into that community center with her little gang, probably expecting to throw us out. Instead, she found me, Tom Martinez from next door, retired IRS, sharp as a tack, and half the neighborhood watching as I laid out her violations and a timeline of Elena's harassment. Brenda lost it, claimed I was just deflecting, called the tape measure a liar, tried to end the meeting, and I had to remind her only a majority vote can adjourn. By the time she stormed out, her grip on power looked about as solid as wet tissue paper. And still, she didn't stop. Suddenly, there's a car across the street, a guy with a camera taking photos. Brenda hired a private investigator, hoping to dig up dirt on us. Elena's hospital gets more calls about her mental state, anonymous, of course. Next day, city planning shows up about illegal medical practice. Another neighbor, Tom, tells me Brenda's been ranting about us at every neighborhood watch meeting. She spent more time talking about your wife's car than security, he says, rolling his eyes. Then Brenda does something truly dumb, sends out an emergency assessment, $800 per household for security upgrades because of recent incidents. She names us basically as the cause. That's when the phones light up. People who ignored the drama before suddenly have opinions about surprise bills. And just like that, Brenda's got a rebellion on her hands. Fast forward to another emergency meeting. Brenda tries to regain control, but Tom starts his forensic accounting presentation, shows how every landscaping contract for the last 2 years went to Kensington Gardens, LLC, Brenda's husband's company, at wildly inflated prices. We're talking $47,000 in emergency landscaping nobody remembers seeing. Tom connects the dots every time someone fought back against Brenda's surprise, another 5-figure landscaping bill. It was organized retaliation, and she was using HOA money to fund it. The room goes dead silent, then erupts. Detective Walsh, the off-duty cop from a few streets over, stands up, badge out. When financial irregularities suggest criminal activity, these documents become evidence, he says, eyeing Brenda. He wasn't the only one. Sarah Chin, a local reporter, had been following the story, digging up that Brenda's company never had a license, never had employees, nothing, just a shell. Formal votes came fast. Brenda's out as president, demanded to pay back the stolen money her company borrowed from future work. As Brenda tried to storm out, Tom coolly announces, lien paperwork will be served tomorrow. You might want to start packing. And wouldn't you know it, next morning, Brenda shows up, still puffed up, waving her own legal papers. Claims she's filing an injunction for defamation, says the meeting was an attack. I open the door, hand her the actual legal notice, property, lien restitution, criminal referrals. Her face. If you could bottle that shade of red, you'd sell out by Christmas. That's when Detective Walsh pulls up, reads her rights, arrests her for criminal harassment and federal vandalism. She'd smashed our mailbox, spray-painted our garage. The neighbors come outside, some with coffee, some with applause, everyone watching as the self-declared queen of the HOA gets led away in handcuffs. 6 months later, the neighborhood's different. Elena's stress melts away. Her hospital gives her a commendation. The HOA votes to use the recovered money to start a scholarship for pediatric nurses and build a new playground for kids with disabilities. Tom's the new president. He emails out receipts. No secrets. No drama. And Brenda sold her house in 30 days. Her husband left the business, the whole family gone. Even the state passes a law for annual HOA audits, the Brenda Prevention Act. No kidding. Now, as I watch Elena and the neighbors grilling kids playing, I can't help but laugh. Brenda thought she was enforcing order. All she did was build a real community, one that stands up for its own. So let me ask you, what would you do if your own HOA tried to run you off your land? Ever taken down a bully in your neighborhood? Drop your stories in the comments. Let's see who can top Brenda's legacy. And hey, if you want more stories where regular folks win, hit subscribe, leave a like, and remember, sometimes the best revenge is refusing to be quiet.